Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Attorney General fired. Now, who is the Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana? He's the Zwarungu boy, the Stanford lawyer, all the way from Connecticut. Dr. Dominic Ayine. That's the guy. He's a very humble guy. I love him. I have never heard a single lie from his mouth. When you ask him something, he will tell you the truth, or he will never open his mouth if he knows he can't speak the truth. And that's one thing I admire about him. I've been with him when calls came in from people he never even knew. And he spoke with them and gave them the information that they needed. For me, this is humbling. This is the nation's lawyer. This is the man who represents Ghana in all legal tussles and litigations. He's not a little boy, but his humility, my brother, my sister, speaks volumes. He came from a family that was extremely poor. He went to school in Tamale and also outside the country. My brother, my sister, this is the cigar-chomping Attorney General of Ghana. He doesn't joke with his cigar when he wants to relax. This is the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the Honorable Dr. Dominic Ayine. He's been fired. Who has fired him? First and foremost, one of his own students. His name is Paul Adom-Otchere. He is a journalist. Oh yes, he's on TV. You hear him on radio. He's now a communications person of the NPP. He's a guy that I admire. He's fluent. And a lot of the times, he has his facts stringed together and is able to eloquently deliver. And I admire people who can deliver and who can speak their mind. In the days of the NPP, there were controversies around him. Some people even nicknamed him the Christmas tree. Better still, Paul the Christmas tree. Otchere. This is the guy. In fact, the office of the special prosecutor bundled him up like a sack of cocoa and threw him into custody where he sweated like a pregnant toad on heat. Many people condemned that. And when he came out, he thanked many wonderful people who helped to bring him out, including the Otumfuo. And there was a quick rebuttal from the royalty surrounding the Otumfuo Manshia. They said, don't drag the Otumfuo's name into any such thing. My brother, my sister, this is Paul Adom-Otchere. Now, Paul Adom-Otchere was a student of the Honorable Dr. Dominic Ayine in law school. Of course, many have told us that he couldn't finish. Others have said he finished without a certificate. But he himself has never been bold enough to come out and say that, you know what, I went to law school, but I dropped out. Or I went to law school and I'm still heating up in the background to go and finish up. I think it's embarrassing to him. But I don't think this is an embarrassment. Because what he knows, I believe there are a lot of lawyers who don't even know that. A certificate should not separate us from checking the contents of our heads. Can I say that again? A certificate should not stop us from checking out the content, the real content of our brains. My brother, my sister, this is Paul Adom-Otchere. He's been on the back of Dominic Ayine for some time now. Maybe for political reasons. Maybe for genuine reasons. He's been criticizing him night and day. I came across a tape. And in this tape, which is just a few minutes, he is on the case of the Attorney General. And I would like us to look at it and find out exactly what the issue is. And we'll tell you more. But I can warn you, he fired the Attorney General. Watch this.
Attorney General Sremsai. This is Hanan and his wife. Yeah. This is Deputy Attorney General. Now, this is a story. The Deputy Attorney General, Justice Sremsai, has withdrawn charges against former Chief Executive Officer of National Buffer Stock Company Limited, Hanan Abdul Wahab Aludiba, and his wife, Faiza Seidu Wuni. They've withdrawn the charges. Sremsai has withdrawn the charges against Hanan. You see, we have to take politics out of some of these things and just talk about competence. It's competence. It's not politics, it's not NDC-MPP, it's competence. When Dominic Ayine started his novel press conferences, that had never happened. That was frowned upon by senior members of the Ghana Bar Association, frowned upon by senior jurists at the bench, frowned upon by international experts who looked at Ghana and the new legal system and the jurisprudence of our country. He did something that is an affront to the jurisprudence of the history of Ghana. An attorney general comes to do press conferences and calls people names. He calls them thieves. He calls them this. He calls them that. Everybody spoke against it. Dominic Ayine will not renege. He continued to do it. He continued to hold press conferences. Now he has stopped. But today I'm going to show you why we were concerned that this press conferences, this purported criminalization and media trial was very unbecoming of an attorney general who is leader of the bar, appointed under Article 88, who is the government's principal legal advisor. An attorney general should not be doing that. We said it, we said it, we said it. Today you're going to see. This is Dominic Ayine, who comes out to hold a press conference about Hanan. Oh, he has stolen this. He has stolen that. We have done our painstaking investigations. After 1 year, he's challenged in court. Now, they're not telling us the truth. The reason why they are withdrawing is not because they have found anything. Sremsai's Facebook post, which I'll read to you, it's not true. The reason why they are withdrawing is that they were smuggling in evidence. After 1 year of presenting all their evidence, during the management of the case, they realized that the evidence that they have presented is all water. As Dominic said, garbage. They realized it when they were confronted at the court, not at the press conference, at the court, where they are a lawyer, their defense is a lawyer, everybody there is a lawyer, not press conference where you are doing a monologue, journalists ask you questions, you get away with it and you do your thing and you go away. No, this was in the room of court. Lawyers were there and they were pointing out to them that, but this is your evidence. What are you talking about? Is that how, what do you mean? Then they found out that, hey, Charlie, we're in trouble. So bring some new evidence. They brought them and they said, hey, you can't smuggle evidence in. You know the procedure. The court said, no, Attorney General, you can't bring. So they were not allowed to add any more evidence they have smuggled in. And as a result of that, they could tell that this whole case, the whole charade is going to collapse on their head. First, let's go and listen to Dominic Ayine about what he said, the kind of evidence he claimed that he had gathered about the Hanan case, the extent of the evidence of what he said he found against Hanan and was so confident going to court. The confidence has now completely evaporated and he's running away. He's letting the Deputy Attorney General come and do a Facebook post. Dominic Ayine now cannot face the camera. He's hiding behind Facebook posts. He should come and talk. He should do a press conference again and explain to the journalists why he has withdrawn the Hanan case. He's run away. Well, they said there's some reshuffle coming. People say that he'll be reshuffled. I hope he's not reshuffled. Me, I like him. But people say he's going to be reshuffled. This is it. He's running away from the case that he's fighting into Facebook posts. Listen to the press conference and listen to what he said about the case that he has now dropped. Listen.
I keep saying that it is important that we we do painstaking investigations, because without the painstaking investigations that were done quietly, we started this in February. In February 2025, this investigation started in February 2025, and it is now that we have the results. I was never an incompetent lawyer in private practice. I don't want to be an incompetent lawyer in public service. So I want us to take our time to do the kind of work that I'm announcing today. So on account of the foregoing, we have decided to charge Mr. Hanan Abdul Wahab and his wife, Faiza Seydou Wuni, with stealing, conspiracy to steal, causing financial loss to the state, using public office for profit, obtaining public property by false statements, and money laundering. The charges will be filed on Friday, and I have the charge sheet, the draft charge sheet, which I am reviewing here for everybody to see, so that nobody goes to say that I have indicted somebody and I don't have charges. I have my charges ready.
The charges have collapsed. Dominic Ayine's charges have completely collapsed. The same thing he showed to the media, it has collapsed in the face of court. That's what we were telling him. Wait and go to court. This media trial won't take you anywhere. Look at this headline from City FM. Ex-NAFCO boss case. High Court strikes out prosecution's witness statement. The High Court has stricken out the prosecution witness, their statement. This is the Dominic Ayine, the thing he says, I have my charge. You can show it to the media all you want and say, I have my charges, and brag and boast. The High Court will show you your level. The High Court has showed him his level. All the things he came to say about Hanan, he has been told that it is hogwash. It is nothing. It's garbage. It is baseless. And he can't admit it. He's running away behind Facebook posts. Let us elevate the standard of our public officials. Let us have high-profile, quality public officials, not those who are interested in camera and just come and brag in camera before journalists who are not their peers. Going to the court. That's where your peers are. When you went into the court, the High Court has stricken it out. That is what has happened to them. The embarrassed double attorney general, Dominic Ayine and Srebsa, they've been disgraced. Why have they been disgraced? Attorney generals lose cases all the time. And I saw Samson Ladi's post. That's not the point. The point is not about attorney general withdrawing or attorney general's case being struck out or attorney general saying that I'm withdrawing the charges. The point is the prelude. What they did before they went to court. Telling Ghanaians that somebody is a thief. Telling Ghanaians that somebody has stolen. Do attorney generals do that? And civil society, you were watching. You didn't do anything about it. Nobody complained that Dominic Ayine is doing media trial. You were happy. Civil society, you were happy. Now you are in court, in the Supreme Court against him. But this is the thing we talk about. Don't see things as political. It's not everything that's political. When somebody is doing something manifestly wrong, it is wrong. If it's Akufo-Addo doing it, it is wrong. If John Mahama does it, wrong. You people were enjoying election victory buzz. Election victory. Oh, we have overthrown MPP. And you were enjoying it. So the critical things that were destroying the fabric of the jurisprudence of Ghana, you said nothing about it. Civil society, zero. You didn't say anything about it. An attorney general comes press conference after press conference after press conference, calling people thieves, calling people thieves. He, attorney general, when he was being investigated for Ameri, and he said that people had come to his house to come and seize his laptop early in the morning, we all complained. Did the attorney general of the day, Gloria Kufu, mount a platform and say Dominic Ayine has stolen money from Ameri? Did she do that? Did she do that? Then you become attorney general. You are calling people thieves every day. You are holding press conference, bragging and bragging. You bragged into the High Court. The High Court puts you flat on the canvas. This is what happened.
The ever-eloquent Paul Adom-Otchere. I love him. But looking at his presentation, I may be wrong. It sounds quite personal. That's how I feel, that he's trying to get into the skin of the Attorney General. Could it be something that happened whilst he was a student of Dominic Ayine? Because I've been told by some people who were also students at the time that Paul was not really very sharp when it came to Dominic Ayine's course. I don't know what course he taught. And there was a time that Paul failed a paper. And Dominic marked the paper and said it. You failed the paper. And he was angry. How can I fail this paper? And the paper finally had to go to a superior, another lecturer, who had to sit on it and remark. So there was a remark, and the superior said, Doc, you have been so kind that you gave this mark to this person. I would have given this person half the mark that you gave. Who is this person? Because, you know, university exams, they don't write names there. It's just the index number and all that. Who is this person? So, one of my students. Could that bitterness have stemmed from that time? And I'm told that he was never able to pass that paper. But that's okay. We all fail exams. You understand? Somebody would fail an exam 5 times and go and write it and pass. But some people are not bold enough to say, you know what? I didn't prepare enough for this paper. They will rather blame the lecturer. And anywhere they see the face of the lecturer, they see the face of Satan. They will chase this lecturer, insult the lecturer, and vilify the lecturer till the end of time. Could this be the case? I hate it when I have to go that way. But let's go into what Paul said. Paul says that the Attorney General and Iyoko have no new evidence at all. They are just withdrawing the charges because their case has fallen flat. Yet in the same thing, the same Paul says they were trying to smuggle in new charges. And the judge said, you can't do that. So if there are no new charges, how do we try to smuggle in new charges? So see that lawyers have to really be sharp. The case crumbled. They have no case at all. That is why they have to withdraw everything. They don't have any new evidence, no new evidence, no new charge. Nothing, no new nothing. Yet, in the same delivery, my very good friend Paul says, with no ambiguity, that while the trial was going on, the Attorney General and his people were trying to sneak in new evidence. Is that not a good chance for you to withdraw so that you have the opportunity to legalize all these new stuff? If I have new evidence and I'm trying to bring it into a case and the judge says you can't, we have closed that stage. Okay, I have withdrawn all the charges. I want to start afresh. Now, instead of charging you with 5, it's 15. Paul said he has never seen that in his study of law. And he goes for a blog from City News. And he says that they say, oh, the Attorney General struck out some kind of evidence from whoever. For that matter, the case has crumbled. Oh my God. Hey, you see, Paul is a friend, so I don't want to go that way. If it was somebody else, I would have gone deeper. But I leave it here out of respect. My brother, when lawyers go to court, they don't expect that it's going to be a walk in the park. They will strike out some issues. The judge would slap away some issues, but they still are solidly grounded and facing the trial. It's only a bad judge who would let a lawyer walk like that, even if the evidence is bad. That's why the judge is there. And it's a very bad lawyer who goes to court expecting that he must win. If he doesn't win, there's war. That's a bad loser. So in law school, in law practice, you are told to expect the other side, even if you were wishing for this side. That's how it is. That's why there is always a chance for you to be able to come back and appeal, depending on which court you are going to. It's like a game of football. You have trained so hard, you believe that your tactics are good, you're going to win, but you go and for some reason you lose. Does it make you a bad team? Come back, re-strategize, and go. After all, they say, he who fights and runs away, that's what? Comes back to fight another day. Hallelujah. But Paul has never seen this. Or is it blind support for Alodiba, Hanan, Abdul Wahab? Look at the evidence. Look at how much the prosecution has worked to be able to bring tangible facts, to bring tangibility to this case. Hallelujah. And somebody sits in a little corner and wanna be lawyer. My brother, and he has never seen a certain witness account struck out. And for him, that is the end of the case. The attorney general is lousy. And the idea, oh, there's going to be a reshuffle. I hope he's not reshuffled because I love him. It's a charade. Let's look at Ghana first. If you think Dominic Ayine should be reshuffled, come with your facts. Say that like I always say. Oh, this is my friend, but I cannot be with you as a friend because of A, B, C, D, E. Be bold. You must not necessarily support a man because he's giving you food before, even if he's leading the whole troop to hell. Like Baumia did. Oh, me, I was only a mate too. And Nana Addo was on top speed, racing us to hell. And at the gate of hell, Baumia looked at all of us and we said, oh, we didn't vote you to bring us to hell. Oh, why are you blaming me? Me, I was only a mate too. Say, oh, so what do? We don't want to go to hell. Oh, okay, so vote me. If you vote me and I become the new driver, I will reverse full speed and take you back to Kantanbanto Market, where we will go and commission toilets and bathrooms. Such absurdity. Such a joke. We bring in people we think have brains that can deal with the nation. And this is the ilk. Me, I stopped wearing coat and tie from when I was a little boy. Because a lot of the people who wear the coat and tie, they have no brains. Oh. I am telling you, look, from when I sat in a trotro and I saw a man wearing a suit and preaching and he didn't make sense, I told myself that this is a fan-fool kind of dressing. Because I came from a family where almost everybody wore suits. I was the first little boy in my area to wear a tie. All the style, the British style, American style of not in a tie, I knew everything. But today, would you ever think that I even ever wore a tie? Because I see it as a charade. People who wear that, society puts them in a certain status and they are the thieves. They are the thieves. When I was at the university and we're going to defend whatever, they told all of us to wear suits. I said, what? Why must I wear a suit? Oh, because you're going to meet people, you have to dress decently. So suit is the only way to look decent. You know what I wore? Lorry tie. Moses, Afro Moses. We used to call it Afro Moses. I have to try and get some of the pictures for you. And my African print. And when I went, the panel looked at my shoes and started to smile. The defense was supposed to take about an hour or so. They spent about 40 minutes talking about my Afro Moses and about my hair and about my philosophies. We spent only about 20 minutes talking about the defense, and I passed. My brother, why did I bring this in? Appearances are important, but I think that as a nation, we have to be more purposeful. A lot of the people we give the respect to should never have any respect. Bawumia, Paul Adom-Otchere, and all those people you see parading themselves in the suit and all that. A lot of them we have to think twice about. I'm telling you. Hey, they mislead the people, and yet they are bold enough to stand in front of you and never retract anything. Look at Bawumia. This guy should be going around apologizing to even grasshoppers, lizards, locusts, and flies in Ghana. But no, he wants to come back and be president. after a woeful, lousy expedition of Vice President Densi. So, Paul goes to court and he sees that a judge has struck out a certain narrative. And for him, the case has ended. The Attorney General is bad. The Attorney General is useless. And what is this thing about Attorney General calling people thieves? In what he played, did you hear Akuritinga say somebody was a thief? The gentleman that he is. He said, these are the charges. I have the charge sheet here. So that people will not say that I'm just talking. After that, we'll go to the court. At his age, your former law tutor, he understands that he doesn't have to stand in public, even in his bedroom, and call people thieves. Every lawyer, even if they have not graduated yet, they know this. You cannot reduce your law lecturer to that level of infancy in the law. It's an insult. And again, could it be because he failed you in the paper? I have failed papers 1 trillion times, and I'm still failing papers. But that does not make me any different. I just prepare and go back. My brother, my sister, I'm going to bring finality to this. Attorney General comes out to give us information because I worry people for information. They all know me. When I call politicians, I'm not asking for money. I call Agboja. I'm not telling him, give me 1 penny. I don't need it. When I call Nana Jane, I'm not asking her for a penny. When I call Callistus, I'm not asking for nothing. Okay? I'm asking absolutely for nothing. Just information. Oh, I'm doing this story and I need your input on this. What do you think about this? What do you say about this? That's all. So if Attorney General realizes that many people are going to be calling for his perspective, and he decides to release a press statement or to come out and speak to the people, we have 2 types of press statements, the written and then the verbal. Attorney General comes and tells the people, oh, this is what it is, this is what it is, this is what we think, and because of that, we have filed the charges and we are going to court. Is that a crime? They have done that into making the Attorney General cower back. I pray it is not so, because I was enjoying the press conferences. I need to know. The people of Ghana have paid you to do the work. Update them. We are not living in darkness. So it has never been done in Ghana. Say ya na ya ye no sa, nti sa na be ye no sa, kopim ta ma be wu. My brother, is that progress? Look at this. The Attorney General was talking too much. He was calling people thieves. When did Dominic Akuritinga call one person a thief? And you play a tape. And in that tape, the man is so gentlemanly. The Stanford lawyer. And he speaks and tells you that this is it. Or is it from sour grapes in the university when you couldn't pass his paper? I ask again. But please, get over that. It's nothing. If you fail a paper, so what? If you fail Dominic Akuritinga's paper, so what? Go and study and come back and fire. I think that this is a little too personal, honestly. I may be wrong, and if you are doing politics too, leave Ghana out of this. We don't need politicians in Ghana. We need patriots. I don't like politicians. When I hear a man say, oh, it's because of politics I'm doing this, I ask him, so where does Ghana fit? But this didn't end there. There's another guy called Expōses. I've never met him, but I've seen his Facebook post in the past when he tried to rope me into some funny thing with Iyoko. But I mean, from his face, you can tell he's a very young guy, maybe one of my students in the African history class. And, you know, when I see people like this, a lot of them have passed through my hands before. In one way or the other, they have actually benefited from the noise we have made in the past and we still make. And I'm proud of them. You understand? That's his name, Kwesi Boyche Jr., I'm told. He has also fired the Attorney General. He has fired him. And it's in the news. Headlines. And he says that the Attorney General was talking too much. And he was talking too much. The same thing that Paul said. The Attorney General is a grandfather in the law profession. If little ones like this can criticize the Attorney General, it means our democracy has come of age, and I'm happy about this. My brother, my sister, he has critiqued the Attorney General because this is an MPP boy. From his posts and things, you can see that these are NPP boys. Interestingly, nobody ever tags us to any party. When you think that black Rasta is red, he slaps you with a blue hand. And when you think that he is blue, he punches your nose with a red knuckle. Okay? We are Ghana. That's it. He also fired the Attorney General. And he said a lot of things about him. He's talking too much. The press conferences were too much. I am sad that these press conferences I may not see anymore. I was truly enjoying that. I do agree that once those press conferences start coming out, we must do everything possible to chase with speed so that it doesn't look like the cases linger. Because when the cases linger, people get tired when you come to tell them about the same old things. I understand that. But it is important to update the people. This is what we're talking about. Should Dominic Ayine be reshuffled? If you ask me, I'll tell you without blinking. I don't see why. A lot of people have tried to intimidate him. A lot of people are impatient. And I understand that some of these people are not behind bars. But my brother, we must also understand that a lot of the so-called thieves that are standing trial have deep pockets. They have lawyers who can help to waste time. In our country, where money talks, it's not easy to put a rich man in jail. Can I repeat it? When you go to the jailhouse, 99% of all the people there are poor. Why? They go to court and that same minute, a judgment is passed. They will sentence him to jail for 10 years for stealing cassava and Kobe. Yet when the rich man goes in there, he has 600 lawyers. Each one is quoting from a book that the judge may not even know. Quoting from books written by Satan himself in hell. When the judge doesn't understand it, what does he say? It is adjourned, bang, till next 28 years. When Mandela is freed, you come back. Before they pass a judgment on this case, the judge has died. His grandson is now the new judge. Before the grandson passes a judgment, this person has also died and the case has ended. It is not the fault of the Attorney General. I think that it is good what Mahama has done. Let us push the system to be able to speed up. And I like what Justice Francis Apangabono Achibunga is doing. He's been put there to speed up things. And look at how the Edu Boyne case is going. Fast, 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 fast. Hanan case, hey, whether they like it or not, they go fast. Whether they like it or not, there will be a judgment in favor of Ghana. Hallelujah.
PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal le Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.